Pet Stop because a lot of people buy animals as pets, and it's really just an impulse buy. Like, they thought this animal was cool, they thought this animal was cute, they liked something about this animal, so they impulsively bought it. And when they took it home and realized that they had to care for a living thing with needs, they realized that they didn't want to do it. We take in small animals that we can care for: bearded dragons, skinks, certain snakes, even insects like hissing cockroaches, freshwater fish. If we can care for it, we'll take it until we get it a forever home. I want you guys to know that this is my first YouTube video ever. So before we get started with the pet room tour, I just want you guys to know that I'm gonna eventually get better with the audio and with the imagery in general. In general, I'm gonna get better at this YouTube thing. It just takes time to learn. So I hope you can bear with me. I also want you guys to keep in mind that the space I have is very limited. It might be 12 feet by 6 feet at best, but I do what I can. So let's jump into the first ever Second Chance Pet Stop room tour. I'm gonna first show you how everything is currently set up. Things are constantly changing and evolving here as we take in new rescues, adopt out animals, start new projects, and end old projects. I'm going to take this time to explain to you guys what Second Chance Pet Stop is all about. If you'd like to dive straight into the individual tanks, then skip to the 5-minute and 27-second mark. Here at Second Chance Pet Stop, we take in unwanted small pets in the New York City area. Maybe one day we'll have the resources and the space to take in large animals, but for now, we do what we can. In the past, we've rescued and found homes for freshwater fish, guinea pigs, hamsters, several snakes, bearded dragons, uromastyx, and more, some of which you can see on our Instagram page at Second Chance Pet Stop. Follow and stay updated with what's being rescued and adopted out. As a means to support the rescue financially, we also sell used pet supplies at a lower price than brand new. In order to support the rescue financially, we also do our own breeding. Currently, some of our breeding projects include calico or marbled convict cichlids. I personally prefer to call them calico, chocolate brucinose pleco, which have the genetics for super red and albino, meaning if you breed these together, you may produce super reds or albinos. Syrian hamsters, commonly referred to as teddy bear hamsters, assorted fancy guppies, and self-cloning crayfish, which are all currently available for sale. As you can see, I have plants in just about every tank. I think they're aesthetically pleasing and assist in keeping the aquarium chemically clean. The most prolific by far, and in my opinion the best for assisting your filtration, is pothos. If you live in the New York City area and would like a cutting, comment below. If you're outside of the New York City area, then click the Amazon affiliate link down below and make a purchase. I promise you won't regret it. Another plant that I highly recommend for vivariums and terrariums is called the wandering Jew plant. It is purple in coloration and looks great. Again, if you live in the New York City area and would like a cutting, comment below. If you live outside of the New York City area, then click the Amazon affiliate link below and make your purchase.
If you have a vivarium or a terrarium, I promise you it'll work great in both those situations. Now we're getting into the individual tanks. This is my Calico Convid Cichlid grow out. It's a 40-gallon breeder tank. It's currently holding about 80 fry. I've seen them go for as much as $45 each. Mine aren't that expensive. Reach out to me if you're interested. I'm feeding them food that is ground up and throwing in some algae wafers for the bristlenose fry that are also in this tank. These are my Syrian hamsters. This is my male. He's in a 5-gallon aquarium, but he is let out and gets plenty of exercise. My female is in a 10-gallon tank and also gets a lot of exercise. This is their daughter. She's about 6 weeks old and she's being held back to be bred also. This is her brother. He's available for sale along with the entire tank if needed. So if you live in the New York City area and you think he's cool, let me know. These are some angelfish that I acquired from a local breeder to sell to someone, but when I got them, I realized that they were too small to survive in that person's tank. So they're growing with me. This is a 3-gallon aquarium. I understand it's too small for them, but like I said, I wasn't expecting to keep them. This is my 75-gallon terrarium and currently my favorite tank by far. The amount of biodiversity in here is insane. Here I hold red wiggler worms, powder orange isopods, clown isopods, dairy cow isopods, dwarf purple isopods, zebra isopods, springtails, scarlet millipedes, northern red giant millipedes, buffalo beetles, and a bunch of beneficial bacteria for the soil. This tank is also used for composting. I feed this tank my garbage. I'll explain that further in a future video. By far the most prolific living thing in this tank are powder orange isopods. They breed, in my opinion, at least 5 times faster than other species. I have more powder oranges than all of my other isopods combined, and when I bought them, I had the same amount. If you live in the New York City area and would like some, they are for sale. Let me know. And even if you're not in the New York City area, I can ship them to you. The only 2 species of plant in this tank are pothos and the wandering Jew plant. I have cuttings available for both if you live in the New York City area. If not, click the link in the description below. It'll send you to an Amazon link where I got these plants from, and you can order. This tank would be perfect for poison dart frogs or red-eyed tree frogs or any other small humidity-loving animal. But I'm not keeping any of those in here because they'll eat my little friends. This tank doesn't get any kind of special lighting. There are two 4-foot aquarium hoods holding two regular bulbs from Home Depot. But these plants don't require direct sunlight, so they're good. This is a 15-gallon vivarium that I made. It just has wandering Jew plant cuttings in it. When they grow in, this tank will look spectacular. This is a breeding pair of my calico convicts. They're displaying mating behavior, basically showing off together. They'll be breeding in that pot when it's time. This time I'll remove the female because this male is a great dad, takes care of his kids, but not such a good husband. He's killed the last two females that he bred with, so I'm gonna save this female. I think this female is stunning. She's gonna be part of this breeding project with the male in the back. They've never bred for me before, but I'm hopeful.
I brought you guys into another room because I feel like the audio will be better. The pet room has a lot of filters and motors and bubblers and stuff like that running. But I wanted to show you guys this bearded dragon. And he's a pretty cool guy, very docile, very calm. My son loves to play with him. In general, he's just a overall cool guy. He just doesn't want to do anything. If he was a human, we would consider him lazy. But since he's a pet, he's a good pet.
This is a musk turtle. It's a smaller species of turtle. This was a gift to me, so this is my personal pet. If you want a turtle but you don't have a lot of space, this is your guy. Easy to care for. I have no complaints. Look at how simple this tank is. It's just a water filter, water, and somewhere for him to lift out the water. Literally all he needs. This is where I breed my bristlenose plecos in these pleco caves. The caves work great. Link in the description if you need. I know this is a small tank, but I tried breeding them in the 30-gallon and they wasn't having it. So I guess the 10 is what makes them happy. This is my second favorite tank. It holds my assorted fancy guppies and also holds my grow out bristlenose pleco fry. I'm about to dump in some algae wafers for them. Funny story about these fish. I used to breed them for their genetics in separate 10-gallon tanks until a family member of mine decided that I didn't need so many tanks and they could all be in the same tank. So without my knowledge, he mixed them all up. By the time I realized, it was too late. So might as well just throw them all in the 40-gallon and make a mutt guppy tank. Some of these guys look amazing. Look at this guy. Blue, pink, yellow. Is that a custom paint job? In my opinion, these fish are beautiful. They can go into a relatively small tank. They're easy to care for, easy to breed. Once you buy these fish, you should never have to buy them again. They're perfect for kids. They're perfect for teaching kids. One of the best fish you can get, period. This is a 20 long that I breed these self-cloning crayfish. This tank was originally meant to breed shell dweller Lake Tanganyika cichlids, but that's the only one I have left. And since I can't breed one, I might as well repurpose this tank. I won't say that these crayfish are rare, but I will say that I've never seen them in a pet shop, and when I have seen them advertised, they weren't really self-cloning crayfish. I got these from a local breeder and learned how to breed them myself. I don't know exactly what brand or what size this enclosure is. I literally found it in the garbage, cleaned it out, dirted it, planted it, and made this beautiful vivarium. Personally, as human beings, we need to do better at reducing, reusing, and recycling. We need to do better at saving the planet in general. These are two red-eared sliders that I rescued from a local guy. He had a third turtle that was way bigger than these guys. He was adopted out. But yeah, the guy told me that he's had that particular turtle since he was 7 and he's 27. So yeah, man, you gotta take into consideration how long an animal lives when you get it. If you can't take care of it for the entirety of its life, then maybe you shouldn't have it. A few fun facts about these guys. They're the most common pet turtle in the world. They're also one of the most invasive species in the world. And the Ninja Turtles were based off of them. These are some of the foods that I love to feed my fish. Links are in the description. For my fry, I simply grind it up to the smallest piece I possibly can, and I serve it to them. They love it. For the fry, they mostly get the Viber right, because I feel like that's the best. Here's some algae wafers for the plecos and for the crayfish. This is my breeding bin for my dubia roaches. If you're squeamish, I suggest you look away. But honestly speaking, this is the best food for anything that eats insects. Highly nutritious. I think one roach is equivalent to 30 crickets. This is my mealworm farm. If you look at other YouTube videos, they have very elaborate setups where they separate the pupas and the beetles and the mealworms, which are the larval stage of the beetles. But I keep it simple, let them all just be with each other. I know that I would get more output if I did all of that, but I don't really have too many animals that eat insects. So unless I have a need for it, I'm not doing all the work. They actually provide all the insects I need for the animals I have currently. These are some supplements that I feel make a great difference in my reptiles. If you guys are interested, the links are in the description.
Honestly, I forgot one more pet, and it's the one I can't live without. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. Oh, you gotta stretch first, huh? What's up? What's up? Say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. This is Duchess. She's a pit bull, Staffordshire Bull Terrier mix. She's from South Carolina. I got her from a dog shelter. So she's a rescue, and she's mine. Yeah, so she's a rescue. Had her for about 2 years now. She's a pain in the butt sometimes, but 99.99% of the time, she's a sweetheart, and I love her. So that's Duchess. So that's the end of the tour, guys. I hope you liked it. This is a lot of work. It's more work than I thought, but I hope you appreciate it, like I said, and I hope you appreciate our cause and what we're trying to do. If you would like to help us out, we have a Patreon account that you can sign up to. We have affiliate links down below that if you purchase anything there, that'll help us out also. We also have a Teespring account where you can get Second Chance Pet Stop apparel. Those aren't the only ways you can help us out. You can also help us out by just liking and sharing this video You can also help us out by following us on Instagram. All those things are free. Now,
If you've watched my video in its entirety, I appreciate you. Here's some apparel that you can purchase off our Teespring account. Link is in the description. Most of the things that I spoke of in this video, there are links in the description. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask and I'll answer them. Peace out.